Every man, at some point, has met a woman who seems completely uninterested. She gives short replies, avoids eye contact, or keeps her distance. And yet, something about her pulls you in. You can't explain it. You just know there's a spark beneath her calm surface. The truth is, attraction isn't always immediate. Most women don't fall for a man because of looks or wealth alone. They're drawn to energy, confidence, and how a man makes them feel when he's around. That's what flips the switch in her mind from "he's just a guy" to "I want him." In today's dating world, everything moves fast. People swipe, talk for a few days, and disappear. But when a man understands female psychology deeply, when he knows how to communicate attraction without chasing, how to lead with calm energy, and how to trigger emotional curiosity, he stands out instantly. Women remember him even when they try not to. This video will show you how to make a woman want you, even when she isn't interested at first. It's not about begging for attention or playing manipulative games. It's about becoming the kind of man whose presence makes her rethink everything she thought she felt. The kind of man who makes her curious, excited, and slightly nervous in the best way. Because once you know how to work with female psychology instead of against it, you'll never need to chase again. She'll naturally start moving toward you. 1. Control your energy. 1. Control your energy. The first thing that makes a woman notice you, even when she's not interested, is your energy. It's not about trying too hard or showing off. It's about how you carry yourself. A man who has control over his emotions and energy stands out. When you're calm, grounded, and in no rush to impress her, it sends a signal that you have something powerful within you. Women subconsciously test men through indifference, distance, or teasing to see if they can handle pressure without breaking. Most men fail this test by reacting, over-explaining, or trying to convince her of their worth. The more you chase, the more she withdraws. But when you stay collected, you make her feel safe and curious at the same time. You become unpredictable because you're not seeking approval, and that mystery attracts her. Control your tone when speaking with her. Keep your movements slow, your eye contact steady, and your words minimal but confident. Don't rush to fill silence. It's in those quiet moments that tension builds. A woman's attraction grows when she senses that your world doesn't revolve around her. You have your own focus, your own life, and she's just discovering how to fit into it. Your calm presence gives her a sense of stability in a world full of anxious, needy energy. That difference is magnetic. Once you master emotional control, her curiosity starts to grow because you're not predictable. She begins to wonder about you. And that's where attraction begins. 2. Build emotional mystery. Most men lose a woman's interest because they reveal too much too soon. They tell her everything about their life, their past, their plans, and their feelings before she's even emotionally invested. Mystery is not about being secretive. It's about letting her discover you gradually. When a woman feels like she's figured you out in one conversation, the excitement fades. But when she senses there's more to you, something layered, something unspoken, it pulls her in. You don't need to pretend or play games, but you must understand that attraction lives in uncertainty. The less she knows about what you're thinking, the more she thinks about you. Emotional mystery starts with how you communicate. Speak less than you know, and only share pieces of yourself when the moment feels right. When she asks questions, give honest answers, but keep them short, focused, and slightly intriguing. Let your silence do the heavy lifting. Every pause, every glance, every small smirk communicates something powerful. When you don't rush to explain yourself, you create space for her imagination to fill in the blanks. And a woman's imagination is where real attraction begins. Your lifestyle should also reflect mystery. Be a man whose actions can't be easily predicted. One day you're deeply focused on your goals. The next, you disappear for a bit to recharge or work on something personal. Never announce every move you make. When she doesn't know what you're doing or thinking, it triggers emotional curiosity. She'll start wondering who else has your attention, what drives you, and what your priorities are. That uncertainty can make her feel slightly off balance, but in a way that draws her in. A woman wants to figure out the man she's attracted to. The more she feels there's depth to uncover, the more emotionally invested she becomes in trying to understand him. Emotional mystery also depends on your emotional responses. When she teases, tests, or challenges you, never let it throw you off. Smile instead of defending yourself. Change the subject instead of explaining too much. Your calmness makes her respect you. When she sees that you're not moved by her moods, it communicates quiet strength. Women are emotional creatures by nature. They feel deeply, they analyze, they test. When you remain steady while she swings between warmth and distance, you become her emotional anchor. She might not admit it, but she'll start thinking about you when she's alone. She'll remember how your silence made her feel, how your calm energy made her curious, and how your words made her question what you truly want. A woman can only chase what she can't completely read. When she doesn't know if she has your full attention or not, she'll start competing for it. That's when the tables turn. She begins to invest emotionally. You don't have to withdraw or ignore her. Just pace your emotional openness. Share one personal story that makes her feel closer. Then pull back and refocus on something else. This push and pull builds anticipation, and anticipation builds desire. Finally, always remember this. Mystery is not about manipulation. It's about maintaining your individuality. Don't reshape yourself to fit her expectations. Be the man who reveals himself slowly because his life is full, his thoughts are deep, and his energy is disciplined. When she senses that, she'll realize she's dealing with a man who doesn't need her validation. And that realization alone can spark the kind of attraction that feels real, lasting, and unforgettable.
3. Master silence and timing. Most men underestimate the power of silence. They think attraction is built through constant talking, texting, or complimenting. But in reality, the opposite often works better. Silence isn't just the absence of words. It's a message in itself. When used correctly, it communicates strength, patience, and emotional intelligence. A man who knows when to speak and when to stay silent instantly separates himself from the rest. In the early stages, when she's unsure about her feelings, your timing becomes everything. If she pulls back, don't chase. If she goes quiet, don't panic. If she takes time to reply, don't mirror her in a petty way. Just remain calm and consistent. Your stillness creates space for her thoughts to wander toward you. Every time she notices your absence, she begins to question it. And that's when curiosity becomes attraction. Most men destroy attraction by over-communicating. They try to fill every silence with validation, thinking it'll keep her attention. But constant communication kills mystery. It removes tension. It tells her exactly where she stands. And once she knows that, there's no thrill left. Women are emotional creatures who crave tension and uncertainty. They want to feel something. Your silence builds that feeling. It makes her think, what's he doing? Who's he with? Why hasn't he texted me? The mind starts creating stories, and those stories build emotional investment. You haven't said a word, yet you've already influenced her thoughts. Timing also plays a key role in how attraction unfolds. You can say the right thing at the wrong time and lose her interest completely. The trick is to read the moment. When she's distant or uninterested, that's not the time to express how much you like her. That's the time to pull back, focus on yourself, and let her come to you. When her energy changes,
When she becomes more curious, more responsive, that's when you lean in slightly. Speak less often, but make every word matter. Your timing shows you're in control of yourself, not driven by her reactions. And that control makes you appear rare. Silence also applies in face-to-face interactions. When she talks, listen more than you speak. Let her words breathe. Don't interrupt. Don't rush to give answers or approval. Let her fill the silence while you observe. This makes her feel seen and also subtly puts you in the position of power. Women open up more to men who can handle silence comfortably because it makes them feel emotionally safe. Silence, when mastered, becomes your secret weapon. It builds tension, forces her to feel, and leaves an imprint that words could never achieve. But remember, silence without presence is just emptiness. You have to back it up with presence, eye contact, calm movements, and confidence in your energy. When you look at her, do it with relaxed confidence, not intensity. Let her see that you're comfortable being in control of the moment. If she talks about another man or tries to test your reaction, don't flinch. Smile slightly, change the topic, and keep your composure. That single act can shift her entire perception of you. She'll realize she can't control your emotions, and that makes her respect you. The right mix of silence and timing creates a rhythm that women find irresistible. It's not about ignoring her. It's about allowing her to feel the space between your words. That's where desire grows. When you master that rhythm, she'll start to lean into your presence more. She'll want to fill the silence with her own emotions, her own words, and her own efforts to connect. And that's when you've truly won her attention, without ever chasing it. 4. Display calm confidence. Confidence is the language every woman understands, but calm confidence is the one that captures her heart. It's not the loud, boastful kind that tries to impress. It's the quiet assurance that speaks through your actions, tone, and posture. A man with calm confidence doesn't need to announce who he is. He moves through life knowing his worth. He doesn't compete for attention because attention naturally finds him. When a woman senses this kind of energy, something shifts in her. She becomes curious, even if she wasn't initially attracted. It's psychological. Women are drawn to emotional stability because it makes them feel safe, and a calm man gives that energy effortlessly. When you interact with a woman, she's not just listening to what you say, she's reading your presence. Your body language, the steadiness in your eyes, your tone of voice, all of these tell her whether you're sure of yourself or secretly insecure. Calm confidence comes from not needing her reaction to feel valuable. You can compliment her without expecting anything back. You can walk away from a conversation without worrying what she'll think. That quiet detachment is rare, and it immediately makes her feel your power. She starts to think about you more because you don't seek validation like everyone else. When she tests you, which she will, your calmness becomes your biggest weapon. A woman might tease you, ignore a message, or flirt with someone else just to see how you'll respond. Most men panic or get defensive, exposing insecurity. But the man who stays composed, smiles, and doesn't let her behavior shake him stands out. You're showing her that your emotions aren't for sale. You remain grounded regardless of what she does. That's what she remembers. Not your words, but your reaction, or rather, your lack of one. She'll start to feel that she can't predict you, and unpredictability creates emotional pull. Calm confidence also shows in how you handle challenges. A man who keeps his composure under pressure demonstrates inner strength, and strength is deeply attractive. Whether it's dealing with rejection, setbacks, or difficult conversations, the way you carry yourself tells her how much emotional control you have. When she sees you handle life with discipline, she begins to trust you emotionally.
Even if she wasn't attracted before, respect turns into curiosity, and curiosity often turns into desire. Another key part of calm confidence is your energy in public spaces. When you walk into a room, don't rush or try to grab attention. Move with purpose, speak with clarity, maintain eye contact without staring. Women pick up on subtle signals faster than men realize. If your body language says, "I'm comfortable here," she'll start to notice you without understanding why. You don't have to be the loudest man in the room. You just need to be the most grounded. Calm confidence is quiet power. Lastly, understand this. True confidence doesn't come from pretending. It comes from preparation. You can't fake inner peace. You build it through self-respect, consistency, and purpose. When you have goals, when you're improving yourself daily, when you live with direction, women can feel it. They sense it in how you talk, how you react, and how you lead. That's why confidence is not an act. It's a lifestyle. You don't need her validation because you've already validated yourself. And when a woman realizes that you can stand alone without needing her to complete you, she starts to see you differently. That's when attraction grows naturally. Calm confidence is rare. It's powerful because it whispers where other men shout. And when you live in that state, she won't just want your attention. She'll start to crave your presence. 5. Use emotional contrast. Attraction isn't built on logic. It's built on emotions. A woman feels drawn to a man who can take her on an emotional journey, who makes her feel different things when she's around him. That's what emotional contrast does. It's the ability to shift between being strong and calm, serious and playful, mysterious and open, all at the right moments. This mix of emotions creates depth, and depth keeps her hooked. Most men stay stuck in one emotional tone, too nice, too serious, or too distant. But when you know how to flow between energies naturally, she never gets bored. She becomes emotionally addicted to your presence because you make her feel alive. The first layer of emotional contrast is balance. You show dominance without aggression, affection without neediness, humor without being childish. When you're talking to her, make her feel safe through your calm energy, but also make her laugh and relax. When she feels your strength, let her also see your warmth. These shifts build emotional complexity, and that's what she remembers after you're gone. She starts replaying your expressions, your tone, the way your mood subtly changed, and she can't stop thinking about it. Another powerful aspect of emotional contrast is unpredictability. Not the kind that confuses or frustrates her, but the kind that keeps her intrigued. For example, one day you're fully present, giving her attention, asking about her world. Then the next, you pull back slightly, focus on your life, and let her miss you. When you reappear, she feels both surprise and excitement. That rhythm keeps the emotional energy alive. Women don't fall for men who are always available. They fall for men who give them moments to feel your absence. Those small gaps allow her emotions to grow without you forcing it. You can also use emotional contrast through your tone and presence. When you talk, don't keep the same energy throughout. Start calm, then lower your voice slightly when saying something serious, then add a small playful smirk when teasing her. This subtle shift in your tone keeps her emotionally engaged. She never knows what version of you she'll get next, but every version feels real. That authenticity is what makes her open up to you. A key mistake men make is thinking that stability means being emotionless. But emotional control doesn't mean emotional emptiness. It means you choose your emotional expression rather than react. When you show contrast intentionally, when you move from being logical to being emotionally expressive, it shows emotional intelligence. That's a language women understand deeply. It tells her you're in tune with yourself, and a man who understands himself becomes easy to trust. Emotional contrast also comes from how you live. When you're passionate about your purpose, driven by goals, yet able to relax and enjoy life. It creates a polarity she can feel. You become the kind of man who brings peace and excitement in the same breath. When she's around you, she feels a blend of comfort and thrill, a balance that few men can create. That balance is addictive. The truth is, emotional contrast makes you memorable. You're not another predictable man who says the same things, reacts the same way, and follows the same pattern. You make her feel different layers of emotion. Sometimes she feels challenged, sometimes she feels comforted, sometimes she feels drawn in without understanding why. And that confusion is what creates attachment. When she feels that emotional high and calm around you, she starts to crave it. Emotional contrast makes her chase the feeling of being with you, not just the idea of you. Once you master that, she doesn't just want you. She feels connected to you in a way that's hard to break.
6. Create subtle sexual tension. Sexual tension isn't about being overt or physical. It's about energy, eye contact, tone, and presence. It's about making her feel your masculinity without a single inappropriate move or word. When a man knows how to create that quiet, unspoken connection, he becomes unforgettable. Most men either hide their desire completely or express it too soon. The first makes them seem timid, the second makes them seem desperate. The secret lies in balance, letting her feel your interest without you ever having to say it directly. It's not about touching her, it's about the way you look at her. The way you hold eye contact just a little longer than usual. The way your voice lowers slightly when you speak. The way you stay relaxed, even when the air feels charged between you. That's what makes her heart race. A woman feels attraction first through emotion, but that emotion becomes desire when she senses your restraint. When you don't rush the moment. When you let silence linger with intention. She starts to imagine what could happen rather than you having to say it. This imagination is what fuels female desire. You're letting her participate mentally, giving her space to feel the connection at her own pace. And that's why subtle tension is so powerful. It's built through patience, not pressure. The more you're in control of yourself, the more she feels drawn to you. When she flirts, don't jump too quickly into it. Tease her back with confidence, but never overdo it. Keep your tone slow and smooth, your movements deliberate. Every time she notices that you're calm when most men would be nervous, she feels a shift in energy. You're no longer just another man trying to impress her. You've become someone who makes her body respond naturally without even touching her. Your words should carry intention, but not desperation. You can compliment her, but let it sound effortless, not needy. Instead of saying, "You're so beautiful," try something more subtle like, "You have this look right now that's distracting." It's confident, playful, and it carries an emotional edge. It tells her you see her without putting her on a pedestal. That slight dominance, that mix of control and honesty, builds a deeper pull. You can also create tension through physical space. When you're around her, don't always stay too close. Give her space, then close the distance slightly when the moment feels right. Every time you shift closer or make brief contact, her body feels the difference. She becomes aware of you in ways she can't control. That awareness is where attraction turns physical. Another important part of tension is unpredictability. Don't always respond the same way to her flirting or teasing. Sometimes you respond with humor, sometimes with silence, sometimes with a calm stare. Keep her emotionally guessing. That uncertainty makes her more aware of how much your presence affects her. She'll start to anticipate your reactions because she's emotionally engaged. That anticipation is what keeps her coming back. Subtle sexual tension isn't about manipulation. It's about connection. It's about understanding that attraction doesn't need to be loud or obvious. When you master your masculine energy and allow it to flow naturally, she feels it. She might not say it, but her behavior will show it. She'll lean in more, hold your gaze longer, laugh easier, and touch you subtly. You'll notice the change in her tone, the warmth in her energy. That's when you know you've built real tension. When you can stand close to her, look into her eyes, speak slowly, and stay completely composed, she'll feel something deep she can't explain. That quiet intensity becomes addictive. She'll start to crave being around you because you make her feel alive, feminine, and desired without saying a single word. That's the power of subtle, sexual tension. It makes her want you naturally, not because you pursued her, but because she felt you. 7. Become her emotional challenge. A woman's attraction doesn't grow in comfort, it grows in challenge. Not the kind that frustrates her, but the kind that keeps her emotionally engaged. A man who becomes her emotional challenge is the one she can't easily figure out, can't fully predict, and can't completely control. He's not distant, he's balanced. He gives just enough to make her feel special, then steps back and lets her miss him. He listens deeply, but doesn't always agree. He makes her feel wanted, but never dependent. This emotional rhythm keeps her attention because it stimulates the two things women crave most: respect and excitement. When you're too easy, too available, or too eager to please, she loses emotional tension. Attraction fades because she feels no challenge in earning your energy. But when she senses that your affection has value, that she must rise to your level to keep your attention, her emotions awaken. You become a prize she wants to win, not a comfort she can control. This doesn't mean playing games. It means holding your standards. You know what you want, you communicate clearly, and you don't bend every time she tests your patience. That strength creates polarity. Women test men because they're looking for emotional leadership. They want to feel your stability under pressure. When you hold your ground with calm confidence, she feels safe, and safety breeds attraction. Being an emotional challenge means responding differently than most men. When she pulls back, you don't chase. When she gets moody, you don't overreact. When she flirts to get attention, you stay composed and unbothered. You train her emotions to associate you with steadiness. She starts to notice that you don't need her energy to function, yet your presence still makes her feel alive. That mix of independence and impact makes her crave more. She'll think about you when you're not around because her emotions aren't settled. That's how deep attraction begins, when she's emotionally unsettled by your calm. One powerful part of being her emotional challenge is knowing when to give validation and when to withhold it. Compliment her genuinely, but not constantly. Appreciate her effort, not just her beauty. And when she seeks reassurance through attitude or distance, don't always give in. Make her earn it. Women respect men who don't fold under emotional pressure. You're teaching her without words that your attention is valuable and must be respected. That lesson stays in her mind long after the conversation ends. Another layer of challenge is leading with direction. A woman feels drawn to a man who makes decisions with confidence. Whether it's where to go, what to do, or how to handle conflict, she wants to feel that you're in control without being controlling. Leadership in relationships doesn't mean domination, it means stability. When she feels your decisiveness, she relaxes into her femininity. She stops trying to take control because she feels guided by your energy. That emotional balance keeps her invested. The final step is emotional depth. Being a challenge doesn't mean being cold. You show her that while you're not easily swayed, you're capable of warmth when it matters. You listen when she opens up, but you don't lose yourself in her emotions. You can comfort her without absorbing her chaos. That's rare. Most men either detach too much or get lost in trying to fix her feelings. You stay centered. You let her feel understood, but not in control of your emotional state. That's what keeps her interested. You're strong, yet sensitive in the right moments. When you master emotional challenge, she becomes addicted to the emotional journey you create. She never feels bored, never feels in full control, and never feels completely safe in the sense of predictability. Instead, she feels alive, curious, and deeply drawn to your balance. You've become the emotional experience she can't find elsewhere. And once a woman feels that, she doesn't just want your time, she wants you. Every man wants to be desired by the kind of woman who first seemed unreachable. But what makes that happen isn't luck, it's mastery of self. A woman is drawn not to the loudest man, not the richest, and not the most charming, but to the man who knows who he is, the one who stays calm when others chase, who listens without losing focus, who walks away when respect is missing. She feels safe in his strength, curious about his silence, and pulled by the confidence that never needs validation. That's the kind of man a woman can't forget. When you control your energy, keep emotional mystery, master silence, show calm confidence, use emotional contrast, build subtle tension, and become her challenge, you're no longer trying to make her like you. You're leading her into attraction naturally. You shift the dynamic from pursuit to magnetism. You stop asking for interest and start commanding attention through your energy and presence. Every look, every pause, every word begins to carry weight. The truth is, once a man understands female psychology at this level, he no longer plays games or chases. He becomes the experience. And when you become that experience, a woman feels it deeply. She may not admit it right away, but her emotions won't let her forget you. You've tapped into something beyond attraction. You've awakened her curiosity, her respect, and her desire all at once. That's when she truly wants you.